staying motivated to meet a goal. Maybe your goal was to lose weight, to start a regular exercise program, to pay off your credit card bills. You're really gung-ho and motivated. But as the weeks went on, your motivation started to dwindle until it was totally gone. Staying motivated to accomplish a goal is a really difficult thing to do, as I'm sure a lot of you can attest to. Why is this so? Why do we lose motivation? This is probably the most common question I hear in my private nutrition practice. My clients will ask me, how can I stay motivated to stay on this diet plan? Or how can I stay motivated to keep up with my exercise program? And this is a really hard question for me to answer because there are a lot of components that go into what keeps somebody motivated. Some of the problems that I see is that some of us try to set too many goals at one time. We might want to quit smoking, start exercising, and lose weight. Or we might have a goal that's overwhelming. Maybe we want to get back to where our weight was when we were in college, losing 70 pounds or so. Or we have a huge credit card bill and we want to pay it all off. So a goal that's overwhelming is a set you up for failure right there. We also may pick a time to reach our goal that's not a good time. We might have too much going on in our lives, and it's not a good time to try and reach your goal. We have hectic lives, we get caught up in our schedules, we tend to lose focus on the goal, we lose confidence that we can meet it, and we give up. So how do we go about meeting our goal? What I'd like to do today is to give you some tips that I use with my clients that have helped them meet some of their goals, and some practical suggestions that might help you. And I would suggest, as I'm going through my suggestions, that you all think of a goal that you're trying to work on and maybe use my tips as a guide to help you meet your goal. Okay, let's start with my first suggestion, is to seriously think about what your goal is and what would the benefit be for you to accomplish it. It's really important that we have a benefit in the back of our mind, otherwise it's kind of hard to work on the goal. Okay, example. Let's say James has a home office. He works from home. His office is very cluttered. He has a poor filing system, not much organization. He gets his job done, but he knows he could be much more efficient if he had a really good organizational system. So James' goal might be to organize his office, and his benefit in the back of his mind would be, I will improve my work efficiency if I organize my office. Another example, let's say you put on a few pounds over the winter with spring, not James, with spring moving around the corner, and you have a great spring wardrobe that you want to fit into. So your goal will be to lose some weight because you want to fit into your spring wardrobe so you don't have to go out and buy all new clothes. So again, whatever goal you have, think about what the benefit would be for you to accomplish it. Tip number one. Moving on to tip number two. You should assess whether or not you are really ready to make the changes that you need to accomplish your goal. Is this the right time for you to really focus on making these changes? It's very hard for us to change, as I'm sure all of you know, and you need to be able to focus. So if you're in the process of looking for a new job, or moving an apartment, or having relationship issues, this may not be a good time for you to embark on your goal. So wait until it's a good time and then proceed. My third tip, very important, is to set a realistic goal. What I see a lot of my clients who come to my office, they want to lose a tremendous amount of weight, get down to their ideal body weight. Perhaps they're 45 years old, they weigh 150, and they want to get down to what they weighed in college, 115 pounds. It's not going to happen. So if you're picking a goal that's really overwhelming, you're setting yourself up for failure right there. So you want to really pick something that's realistic. Another example would be if you're trying to start an exercise program and you haven't exercised for years, or you have a really busy work schedule. Setting up a goal of saying, I'm going to exercise 6 times a week is not going to work because you're guaranteed for failure. There's no way you're going to be able to do that. So start with something more realistic, maybe something like 3 times a week. Once you've done that, then you can build up. So again, it's very important to set a realistic goal. My next suggestion is to break your goal down into smaller, more attainable, very concrete goals. Rather than just say, I want to lose weight. Break it down. I think in our jobs, each of us, we have daily goals, weekly goals, and monthly goals. So do the same thing in your personal life. Maybe week 1, you would aim to lose 1 or 2 pounds a week. Or if you're trying to pay off a massive credit card bill, for the first month, you would pay off X amount of money. So break it down, because if you have a really overwhelming goal, you're not going to be able to accomplish it. Now, James, with his home office, rather than say, I'm going to clean up my whole office at once, he would break it down and say, this week I'm going to work on cleaning this file cabinet, my second week I'm going to work on doing this. So by having smaller goals, and by meeting the smaller goals, you'll get the confidence to be able to meet your larger goal. My next tip would be to enlist some support from family members, friends, coworkers. The more support you can have around you, the greater your chances would be of meeting your goal. For example, if you're trying to increase your exercise, maybe ask your spouse to give you a little gentle nudge to go to the gym with them a few times a week. Or at work, get an exercise buddy that you can go for a speed walk with at work. Another example would be if you're trying to lose weight and your secretary has a bowl of chocolate sitting on her desk, maybe ask her if she could substitute jelly beans or another kind of candy instead of your favorite chocolate. So the more support that you enlist, again, the greater chances you will have of meeting your goal. My next tip is to write it down. I think it helps if you write your goal down and you track your progress. We like to see that we're able to accomplish something. So let's just say that your goal would be to, again, back to the weight loss because I'm a nutritionist, so I keep going back to that. Well, let's say that your goal would be to lose 20 pounds. So you would write in your notebook, goal is to lose 20 pounds. Week 1, I'm going to aim to lose 1 or 2 pounds a week. You would want to track down what you eat. It helps to keep a record of what you're doing. And then you can check off at the end of the week, did I lose my 1 or 2 pounds? So you're building confidence that you're able to meet these goals, again, which will enable you to meet your larger goal. Now, I know Marie is a runner, and maybe she's used to doing 6K races, and her goal is going to be to do a half marathon. So she would track her progress and write down what her time was, what her mileage was, set goals, so she would be able to meet her goal of running the half marathon in 3 or 4 months. And my last tip, last but certainly not least, is to maintain a positive attitude. I think so many times we focus on the negative. I didn't meet my goal. I didn't lose 2 pounds this week, or I didn't get to the gym 5 times like I said. Rather, what you want to do is the opposite, is you want to give yourself credit for what you did do. So maybe you didn't lose 2 pounds this week, but you avoided the cake at your office party. You felt better, you had less sugar cravings, you had more energy. So focus on the positive rather than the negative. With regards to the exercise, maybe you didn't get to the gym 5 times like you planned, but you did it twice, which is 2 more times than you did the previous week. So by focusing on the positive, again, you're going to give yourself more confidence and you will be able to meet your goals. So hopefully you all have a goal in mind, and just to kind of review, what I would recommend is that you pick a realistic goal. Don't make it be overwhelming. Make it be very specific and concrete so that you can meet it. Keep track, write on paper what you're doing. And as you see that you're accomplishing each small goal, eventually it will end up leading to you meeting your larger goal. Give yourself a lot of positive reinforcement. I also would suggest that you think of some kind of rewards for yourself. If you meet your goal, give yourself a reward. Now, of course, if you're trying to lose weight and you lost 2 pounds, you're not going to go buy yourself a box of the diamond chocolates. Or if you just paid off a credit card, you're not going to go buy a pair of $1,000 Gucci boots. So find an appropriate type of reward. But that can also help you stay on track. So I hope some of my tips have planted some seeds in your mind, and hopefully you will be able to meet some of the goals that you've been working towards. Thank you.